creepy cute toy, manufactured obsession, viral phenomenon, and a $14 plastic figure that was selling for $1,000 on the secondary market. Until it wasn't. Labubu is a furry creature with sharp teeth, dead eyes, and an inexplicable hold over millions of people who camped overnight, fought in stores, and drained their life savings just for a chance to own one. It started in Thailand, exploded across Asia, and now it's spreading globally. But here's what nobody's telling you. The bubble is already bursting. Resale prices in Thailand and China have crashed by as much as 80%. Millions of people who spent their rent money on these dolls are watching their investments evaporate in real time. Today on the channel, we're exposing the real story of Labubu and how a manufactured craze is leaving a trail of financial ruin in its wake. The numbers were staggering at the peak, but now they are in a state of total collapse. Over $400 million in sales in 2024 alone. Limited edition drops that sold out in a matter of seconds. The Macaron series, those soft pastel-colored Labubus, were hitting $2,000 on the resale market. The vinyl face dolls, the ones with the blank staring expressions, were reaching $5,000 for rare variants. Pop Mart's valuation jumped to over $8 billion almost overnight. And it wasn't just dedicated toy collectors, it was regular people. Office workers, students, parents. Because when you see everyone around you obsessing over something break, when influencers post unboxing videos with millions of views, when your coworkers line up those Macaron series dolls on their desks like trophies, you start to wonder, what am I missing? Why don't I have one? But here is the thing they never tell you until it's far too late. This has happened before. Beanie Babies in the 1990s saw people paying thousands for stuffed animals that would be worthless within a few years. We saw it with Funko Pops in the recent NFT gold rush. The pattern is always the same. Artificial scarcity, social proof, FOMO, and then, inevitably, the crash. Right now, in early 2026, Labubu has entered the terminal crash phase. Search interest in Thailand is down 70% from its peak. Resale prices have dropped 80% in major markets. The Macaron series that sold for $2,000 in mid-2024, now it's struggling to fetch even $400. The vinyl face dolls that seemed like surefire investments are sitting unsold on marketplace listings for months. All those people who maxed out credit cards thinking they were buying appreciating assets are realizing they own $14 toys that nobody wants anymore. When psychologists look at the Labubu phenomenon, they find something unusual. It's not actually about the toy itself. It's about the mechanism of desire, the artificial scarcity, the social proof, and the gamification through blind boxes, where you don't know which variant you're getting, create a perfect storm. It doesn't look like traditional toy collecting. It looks like a perfectly engineered system designed to trigger addictive behavior. And it's all legal. It's all celebrated until the floor falls out and leaves people holding worthless plastic. Labubu was created in 2015 by Kasing Lung, a Hong Kong artist. The character is part of the Monsters series. Labubu is a furry, elf-like creature with sharp protruding teeth, beady eyes, and an expression that is simultaneously cute and disturbing. In Chinese internet culture, this aesthetic is called chomeng, or ugly cute. There is a deep reason why this works. Evolutionary psychology. Humans are biologically wired to protect things that look vulnerable or slightly broken. It's why we find pugs adorable, even though they can barely breathe. It's why baby animals with disproportionate features trigger our nurturing instincts. Labubu's weird teeth, unsettling eyes, and awkward proportions trigger that same protective response in the brain. Your subconscious sees something that looks a little wrong and wants to take care of it. This is a defense mechanism that toy designers have learned to exploit brilliantly. You don't just want Labubu. You feel a primal compulsion to protect it and collect it. For years, Labubu remained a niche designer toy for art enthusiasts. Then in 2019, Pop Mart, a Chinese toy giant, acquired the rights to produce and distribute the character. Pop Mart had already built an empire on the blind box model. Small collectible figures sold in sealed packages, so buyers have no idea what is inside. The business model is both brilliant and exploitative. If you want a specific character to complete a set, you have to keep buying boxes until you win. It's gambling, plain and simple, but it's legally protected because the consumer always receives a physical product, just not necessarily the one they wanted. Pop Mart began producing Labubu in endless variations. Regular editions were followed by the macaron series in soft pinks, blues, and mint greens. Then came the vinyl face dolls with blank, staring expressions that look almost haunted. Limited editions, seasonal variants, and luxury collaboration pieces flooded the market. For a few years, it was moderately successful, but it wasn't yet a global phenomenon. Then, everything changed. In late 2023, social media in Thailand exploded with Labubu content. Influencers began posting haul videos showing entire walls of macaron series dolls. TikTok trends featured people unboxing dozens of packages trying to find specific chase variants. Overnight, everyone in Thailand wanted one. Pop Mart stores in Bangkok saw lines stretching around the block. People camped overnight on sidewalks for limited drops. Vending machines were emptied within minutes of being restocked. Resale prices skyrocketed. A macaron series Labubu that retailed for roughly $14 was suddenly selling for $800. Rare vinyl face dolls hit the $5,000 mark, but here's where the story gets suspicious. Multiple marketing analysts who investigated the surge found evidence of highly coordinated campaigns. Pop Mart didn't just get lucky, they hired influencer agencies in Thailand to manufacture the trend. They sent free macaron series and vinyl face dolls to content creators with massive followings. They paid for sponsored posts that looked like organic enthusiasm. Most importantly, they controlled the supply with surgical precision. Stores received intentionally limited stock to ensure lines would form. Vending machines were restocked at unpredictable intervals, forcing people to check back constantly or risk missing out. One Thai marketing executive, speaking anonymously, described the cold reality of the strategy. It's not about selling toys. It's about creating a cultural moment. You make people feel like if they don't have that macaron series, they are outsiders. Then you restrict the supply so that anxiety intensifies. This is manufactured desire, and it worked perfectly until it didn't. The craze spread like a fever from Thailand to Malaysia, Singapore, and the Philippines. In each new market, the same pattern emerged. Influencer campaigns, limited drops, and massive lines. The macaron series became a mandatory status symbol for the social media age. Pop Mart's valuation surpassed $8 billion in 2024 as their revenue exceeded $1 billion. But who was actually footing the bill? Journalists found a disturbing pattern among buyers. Many weren't wealthy collectors, but regular people, often young women, spending money they simply didn't have. One 24-year-old office worker in Bangkok admitted she had spent over $3,000 on Labubu figures in just 6 months, mostly chasing the complete macaron series set. "I know it's too much, Ormers," she said. "I know I should save, but when I see a new release, I feel anxious if I don't own it." Another university student used her entire semester's food allowance to buy a limited edition vinyl face doll, eating instant noodles for 2 months straight just to keep the toy. This isn't a hobby, it's addiction packaged as an investment. Psychologists have identified 4 key mechanisms at play. First, the blind box system triggers the same dopamine response as a slot machine. Second, artificial scarcity creates a buy now or never panic. Third, social media visibility creates intense FOMO. Fourth, the completion drive kicks in. Once you have a few dolls, your brain becomes distressed until the collection is finished. Pop Mart knows this. Their entire business model is built on exploiting these specific psychological vulnerabilities. They perfected the formula with Labubu. The ugly cute look triggers a protective instinct, while the blind box system hooks people with gambling mechanics. Then came the celebrity endorsements. In 2024, Blackpink's Lisa posted photos with her Labubu collection. Other K-pop idols and Thai actors followed suit. Each post generated millions of likes and a fresh surge in demand. People weren't just buying a doll, they were buying a piece of a lifestyle endorsed by their idols. Were these endorsements organic? Pop Mart has never disclosed the extent of their celebrity marketing spend. In many Asian countries, influencer marketing laws are lax, allowing companies to pay for posts without requiring a sponsored tag. Everything looked like a natural trend, but much of it was purchased. Luxury collaborations with high-end fashion brands like Prada furthered the illusion of value, transforming a $14 toy into a $700 status symbol. Then, the phenomenon turned violent. Stories emerged of people fighting in stores over limited macaron series releases. Videos showed adults pushing children aside to grab vinyl face dolls from vending machines. Professional resellers hired groups of people to camp overnight and buy up every single unit of stock. In Singapore, police had to be called to a mall when a release nearly caused a riot. The secondary market became a volatile shadow economy. Resellers were making six-figure incomes, and regular people began treating the dolls like stocks or real estate. They weren't toys anymore, they were assets. But by late 2024, the market reached a breaking point. Saturation set in. Everyone who wanted a Labubu already had one. Demand softened, and the influencers moved on to the next trend. By early 2026, the crash was undeniable. Search interest in Thailand dropped 70%. The macaron series dolls that once commanded $2,000 are now being dumped for $400, an 80% collapse in value. Collectors who borrowed money or maxed out credit cards are watching their wealth vanish. One Thai collector posted a tearful video showing her wall of dolls. "I spent $8,000 on these. Now I can't even get $2,000 for the whole set. I have debt and all I have is plastic." Pop Mart, meanwhile, is expanding into Europe and North America, hoping to repeat the cycle in markets that haven't seen the crash yet. They are looking for new audiences who don't know this is a manufactured phenomenon. Is this legal? While the toys are harmless, the system is predatory. It exploits gambling psychology and targets the vulnerable. China has introduced some rules on blind boxes, but enforcement is weak. Former employees say management often dismissed concerns about customer debt, claiming people make their own choices, but that ignores the massive psychological infrastructure built to influence those very choices. If you're thinking about joining the craze, remember, in the places where this started, the bubble has already burst. The only ones who truly profited were the ones who manufactured the scarcity in the first place. Don't let a plastic doll hijack your brain.